And welcome everybody. It's Talking Kaizer Chiefs, brought to you by SoccerBeat. And we've got Tsepo Masilela here, as usual, Kaizer Chiefs fan and ex-Kaizer Chiefs player, and myself, Peter the Toy. Tsepo, we've just watched Kaizer Chiefs draw 2 each at home with AmaZulu. A lot of people could be disappointed by the result, but I think what's so important to Kaizer Chiefs fans, guys, we've got to put this into context. You've got to look at the bigger picture. The bottom line is, Tsepo, if you look at Kaizer Chiefs, where they were this time last year and where they ended up last season, this is without a doubt an improved position, and secondly, better football inside. And you can see that the team's improved considerably, especially with these new signings, and you can still see where the weaknesses are. Therefore, you know where his next step's going to be. So I think Kaizer Chiefs fans, personally, I don't know what you think, but I think you'll agree with me. Kaizer Chiefs fans can look back and say, guys, yes, we're disappointed that we're not higher up. We're disappointed that we didn't beat Orlando Pirates on the weekend. But you're sitting much better than you were last season, and this team looks like it can still go even forward further. You agree?
I would definitely agree with you, Peter. You know, when you look at this Kaizer Chiefs team, their performance, in most of the games, you could see, the direction and what they're trying to do, and obviously in the position on the log. Listen, Peter, if you'd say the season is over today and they finish fifth, I would take it. It's a much improved position from where they finish. Obviously, the league is not finished yet, but all we're saying is that we're seeing, improvement in this team, and their position in the log doesn't lie.
Correct. Tsepo, I said it last week. I'll say it again. I would have somebody a bet that this Kaizer Chiefs team will continue its progress. They will have a few bad results, but this Kaizer Chiefs team has got a very good chance, and you and I will still win our bet that we don't have to pay. That this Kaizer will still finish fourth on this league table. If they finish fourth, I won't be surprised. Fourth place is a definite possibility. In fact, I'll have some bets with people.
A definite one, Peter. Even they can go as far as dead. They just have to get that consistent, and string a couple of results in succession. If you win 3 games in a row, it gives you 9 points, Peter. We're talking a different story, and I would also put them in the bracket of, between 3 and 5. They should be staying in those positions, and a top 4, 3, you might be surprised once the new guys start gelling and they're getting used to the. Obviously, they come from the 2 signings. They are not playing in our league, so you also have to take that into consideration. Cele was, in Europe. Also, Lilepo was in Europe, so you have to come back and adjust to the league, and the new environment, new teammates, new coaches. So I see them getting better.
So do I. Tsepo, 2 of our buddies, Michael Morton and Manib Joseph, just sent me a message, and we know first of all they're Orlando Pirates through and through, but they're teammates of ours, and they're not having a go. They're not having a go. Mike Morton said a very good point here. He says, again, 3 shots on goal, 2 goals conceded. Chief goalkeepers have the worst save rate in the league by far. So listen, the stats show that. So Nabi knows. It's when you don't know what to fix, that's the problem. As Mike says, it's very clear. It's a goalkeeping stroke defensive problem. They concede goals too easily. If they can sort that out, this is a 2-0 win. Although, let's be fair, before he could have had a hat-trick today. He did help Kaizer Chiefs with goals. But then, funny enough, Manib Joseph, the goalkeeper, and we know he's anti-Chiefs and pro Pirates. He commented on this because we're all on the same WhatsApp group. And guys, this is what he says. It's that leaky defense. And he says a very good point. He says, look at the goals tonight. It's all 70-30 saves that must be made. And he's saying these are saves. As a goalkeeper, he said 70% of those times you should be saving those. And they're going in on the 30%. And that's not something that should happen. So all 3 keepers, and Mike goes further to say, have got the same problem. If they sort that out, that's half the battle done. But there's another problem that you've been pointing out from the start of the season. And you could see it clearly in the first half, and the coach, Nabi, fixed it up in the second half by bringing on Ox. Why he didn't play? Ox has been one of the best players since he got back into the team. I don't understand why he wasn't starting, because you've got 3. You had Maart and Shabalala and Cele, who are all attacking players. So you needed a my tongue didn't go into place there. You needed somebody that in front of and the goal actually came from very poor central defending from a midfield point of view. That's the other area. How would you solve it? Does it need another player? Who can do the job? Would you give Blom another chance there? He hasn't looked great at it.
He hasn't looked great in that position, and funny enough, he is looking like he's starting to finally settle in that right back position. But looking at the team, and we all know that when he's fit and the Blom that we knew before he moved overseas, I think he can still do a job in that. Maybe give him another 2 games in that position and see how it plays out. Because now you have a different combination. If you have Blom and Cele, he's playing with someone that is very comfortable on the ball. We all saw that. He can make the team play from deep. He's always available, and he keeps it simple. He plays the right pass, right option, So maybe him and Cele, and the coach, I'm happy that he did mention that the change that he made, bringing on Ox, because he saw that the challenge that they were having every time AmaZulu broke, they play when they went on counter in the middle, there was no one protecting the defense. So.
Good. We want to talk about Liloko and we'll talk about him in this after the ad break. But I want to say is I thought Frosler was outstanding in this game, going forward and defensively. And for me, if you're playing Blom at right back, you're wasting a top quality right back on the bench. I think Frosler is definitely there. And the back four did well, except for when the goal came. I also thought Dortley should have actually held position and rather let the attacker come forward with the ball. But after the break, we want to talk about the new signings specifically and the guy I've nicknamed Crazy Horse. I think this guy is going to be a sensation, as I said last time in the PSL. We'll be back right after this break.
Golden liquid pouring, gold splashing, gold swirling, waves of gold foaming, cut to reveal more gold. It's easy to make a beer that looks gold, but to make a beer that wins gold, that's a different story. Carling Black Label, Africa's most awarded beer.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Talking Kaizer Chiefs, brought to you by SoccerBeat and brought to you by Tsepo Masilela and myself, Peter du Toit. I'm glad you all stayed with us. I want to talk about the new signings in particular. And the guy that I think is going to be a big star for Kaizer Chiefs, I think we saw him come on against Orlando Pirates. He started today, Lilepo. I've called him Crazy Horse because he's big, powerful, and when he starts galloping, there's very little you can do to stop him. And what I like about him, he's also smart with his passes. The ball for the goal. You got a nice pass from Miguel out wide. He stays out wide. He's correctly positioned when he stands wide on the touchline, facing the entire play, not side on. Gets it. That means he can face somebody who can play down the middle. He goes in. Frosler on his right, draws a man, plays to Frosler, cross, and Afari helps Morris in. So he, to me, looks like this power that he's got. Crazy Horse, as I call him. When he gets the ball, you can sense something is going to happen. He never lost the ball as he got it, by the way. He made a few mistakes, but when he gets it, he protects it. And I know he moved to the left wing, but I really think Serena on the left wing and him on the right wing, Chiefs are going to cause havoc down the sides, and both players can score goals. You as a fullback, you were international class fullback. When you got a big boy like him coming at you, let's be honest here. It's not that easy because he's got pace and power. How would you handle it?
Peter, it's not that easy, And again, what also impressed me today about him is his work rate. You saw him putting a shift defensively as well. He was helping the team. He was helping Fosler. When it comes to defensive duties, it's not a winger, a lazy winger that's only waiting for the ball or playing only on a counter attack. And it's not every day where you see Hanabu being kept, further back, not going all the bombing forward, playing those crosses. Normally, AmaZulu is more of the guy that goes forward more often and plays crosses. But today, especially in the first half, he had problems with with Lilepo, So I'm impressed with his work rate, and obviously we anticipate that it's gonna get better and improve. But me, Peter, I know I had a way of dealing with such strong, powerful, winners. But for me personally, like my first thing is also I need to make him work. I need to try and attack more. So to kind of to drain him and put him in uncomfortable positions. When he's defending too deep, now it's to run up the field again. It's a mission. It drains him. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with what he gave to the team. Different dimension, direct, powerful, strong. He can run at defenders, run behind defenders without the ball.
Correct. And I'll tell you something, what I like even more, he's got a proper athlete behind him in Frosler. So now you talk about the left back. The left back wants to bomb forward, but he knows if he loses the ball, or if never mind, he loses the ball, if the rest of the team lose the ball, he's got two speedsters flying down the ring. And I think we're going to find this combination between Lilepo and Frosler is going to be a combination that's going to be very dangerous for other teams. And I've said it before the derby. I'm now even more convinced. Lilepo is going to be a sensation. He's going to be a big hit with the fans because you can see already when he gets the ball, people are excited. And Serena can come back to form and his full fitness on the left-hand side. I think it's outstanding. Let's just, before we go to Mele, let's talk about Morris. He looks a bit injured with his, he had the hamstring pants on as well. But I thought under the circumstances, he did very well. He works hard.
He works hard. He presses defenders. He hustles, and his hold-up play was okay today. Was decent. They could play the ball forward to him. They knew that he would protect, wait for the team to join, and lay it off to the number 10 or the players joining him. So firstly, I would say his hold-up play. Compared to Ranga, because at times Ranga is a bit sloppy. They will play a ball to him, would take 5 touches, control, going backwards to his own goal, lose the ball, and the team, they get frustrated because it's more like you're trying to, it's counter now. It becomes more of a waves, So I think his hold-up play was impressive, and yeah, unfortunately, he couldn't get that goal. The first goal, I think it was an own goal from Rama, the mistake from the keeper. But he was also decent. He worked hard.
Well, he also made the challenge that caused part of the problem. With Ranga, he's got the ability. He's got the size to be a Pollen and Ludler type striker. But Pollen had superb confidence in his first touch. Ranga sadly has lost confidence in his first touch, and I don't know if his first touch was ever that good. The one problem that I disappointed in Morris is for the first goal. I thought he allowed the AmaZulu striker to get in front of him. He should have been a little bit more aware, because one of the reasons why he's in the team is also to defend from set pieces, and he's normally very good at that. And I think that he caught himself a little bit napping there. I don't think the keeper would be too happy with him. And Thabo Cele, what do you think?
Peter, it gives comfort to especially the two centre backs. When you're trying to, it's someone that you can trust on the ball. He keeps it simple. When he has to play one touch, he plays one touch. When he has to play 2 touches, he plays. When he has to play forward, he plays. He gives comfort to the keeper and the 2 centre back that there's someone that we can give the ball, and he's not gonna lose the ball. He hardly lose the ball. That's also a plus. So again, who will play with him once he's fit? Because it's important to get an understanding, build an understanding with the next midfielder that you're playing next to. And to me, it looks more like an 8, an 8 type
Correct.
of a midfielder.
Correct. I think that's where he will play. Just one thing I think you'll agree with this is that fans need to understand that it's probably harder for him to fit in than it is for a winger or even a striker, because obviously he's involved in a lot more combination play. He's got to defend. He's got to go forward. He's got to keep shape. And the pace of South African football, if you're playing wide, you can manage the pace, obviously, because you're up and down. But if you're playing in this, and if you're playing at the back, you can also manage the space because you're 10 yards forward, 10 yards back. And the same with the striker. But if you're playing in the middle of the park, unless you're playing actually the holding role, if you're playing his role and Maart's role, and I think that's where Maart also falls down a little bit. But if you're playing his role, South African football is like the English Premier League from a turnover of possession and a pace point of view. In fact, sometimes even faster. It's a very difficult role, and I think we mustn't be harsh on him. He's fitted in well. He lacks that fitness. I think he's just going to get better and better as the team becomes more happy with possession. And I see this team getting more happy possession, Tsepo, in particular because, when you're safe to play it wide, and it's not going to come straight back because you've got wingers who can actually hold that up, control it, and get past people. That you pin teams back that way because suddenly they're not bombing people forward. And I think you're going to find this Kaizer Chiefs team, the way Nabi plays, they're going to pin teams back. They just need, I think Cele's long-range passing, which we saw in videos, is going to be very important here. So is Maart, but I think Cele in this instance is going to be more important. Any negatives you see about the new boys?
To be honest, in today's game, they were decent. From them individually. Obviously, with Cele, I still feel like is how do I put it? Not pace. He's not someone who's got pace. We're not expecting him to run, up and down. But every time they were attacking their goalpost, he was caught like facing his goal, and there was no agent in trying to get back to defensive positions. So if he can maybe work on that, the agents when they are defending or they caught on the counter, to release the handbrake a bit and show that now we in trouble. A bit of agents and.
I think he's been out the country all his footballing life. I think that altitude in Joburg is something that thin air. I remember the first time I played, it was like, goodness me, who's taking my lungs away? So I think the thin air and the pace of South Africa, and I think he hasn't played for a while as well. So I think he's actually done well. Nabi probably should have said to him, listen, I'm giving you 55 minutes, I'm taking you off. Because in the back of his mind, he may have been going, listen, I need to keep something in reserve. But let's take a short break and then I want to talk about what's going to happen against Stellenbosch, because that's a different ball game altogether. They're a much better team than AmaZulu, and they're playing away from home. This is a big game on the basis of it can define the end of Chiefs' season. If they're not careful, you can get hammered in this kind of game. But I think but we'll talk about it after break. Don't go away, guys. We'll see you now. Welcome back, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell. That's the notification bell. We drop at least a show a day, and we'd like you to watch them all. In fact, I'll be upset if you don't watch them all. And I've got Tsepo Masilela and the SoccerBeat talking Kaizer Chiefs, and I'm Peter du Toit. If you don't know that by now, come on, guys, pay more attention. Right. Chiefs fans, big game on Friday night. Stellenbosch away. It's a tough game. And I think, Tsepo, this game is very important because it could define, as I said earlier, the rest of the season. Because if they get 3 points from this game away from home, it is a huge confidence booster. And I think the way they played against Pirates is how they've got to approach this particular game, because they'll catch you on the break very quickly. Players like Titus and so on, they're very effective when you think you've got the ball, and as soon as you lose it, they find them very quickly. What would you do? Would you play like they played against AmaZulu, or what I'm saying about they should switch to how they played against Kaizer Chiefs, a slower, patient game?
Peter, they played against a very well-oiled regime, Stellenbosch team. That team is a well-coached, well-oiled machine. And if you remember correctly, it's not so long that Stellies came to FNB and lost 2-1. So obviously they will be saying, hey, come on, boys, they're coming to our backyard. It's time for revenge. But Nabi, I think more or less, the Pirates game, I really like their tactical approach to that game. They kept it nice and tight. They never gave a lot of chances away, and they did have maybe 1 or 2 chances. And funny enough, this Kaizer Chiefs team do start strong, Peter. If you look at their games, if they can only convert, the first 15 minutes, if they can take their chances, and keep it tight at the back, we'll be talking a different story. But again, that Stellies team, they have De Jong, who's very good in the pockets, and that's why you need a a very good six or holding midfielder, to protect. Because De Jong likes to play around those areas where he drops. He starts high with your centre backs, and he knows how to get to the spaces, in front of them or in the pockets. And we all know Tati as the threat of Tati. But with Nabi, the another thing with this Kaizer Chiefs, you don't know which back four they're gonna play with. At some point they had the Clockwork, now Cross is back. Blom will be back maybe from suspension. So also if they can, I think now they going towards second round. You have to more or less have the base of the team. Like the starting eight. That you think that these guys will give me results. But again, also with the new signings, it has made their bench stronger, Peter. If you look at their bench today, there's Sereno, and they're still gonna have Duba coming back from injury, Ashley Dubreeze. So it will be interesting.
Things are looking up for Kaizer Chiefs. Just talking about De Jong, that's a player I think Kaizer Chiefs should sign. I think he'd fit in superbly because he'd be able to link up play and join up play. He'd fit in perfectly with a very underrated player. So I think, Nabi, listen to what Tsepo's got to say. You've been the same kind of outlook, the same kind of tactics as against Lander Pirates. I will say one thing, though, Tsepo, as we finish. Kaizer Chiefs under Nabi have been unlucky. They're always getting a goal against them. They've had a few refereeing decisions against them. The luck starts changing, which it will in football, and you get the rub of the green, and these new boys settle in properly. I think Chiefs fans, you're in for a good second half of the season. And if they added one or two other players into the squad for next season, I think you're onto a good thing. They just got to keep Nabi happy and give him the signings we want. Tsepo, everybody on Friday, Cape Town, Stellenbosch versus Kaizer Chiefs.
Kaizer Chiefs. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
Love you guys.
Thank you, everyone. Love you.
Congratulations to the latest winners of our weekly Kappa competition. We're giving away 4 Kappa hampers filled with authentic Kaizer Chiefs merchandise worth 5,000 rands each every single week right here on SoccerBeat. Congratulations on Twitter at Cindy_TLC, at Captain Liza, and on Facebook, Marvin X Show of Stunner, Maladitomo Mpahlele. Congratulations to our latest winners of our Kappa competition. Standard T's and C's apply.
SoccerBeat, ouça!